You crave love. Not the fake kind, not the good-for-now kind, but real love, sacred love, a soul connection that touches your spirit. And yet, you're still single, still waiting, still wondering, when is it my turn? But here's the truth no one tells you. You're still single not because something's wrong with you, but because something divine is being protected. God isn't denying you love. He's preserving it. As a chosen one, your heart is not ordinary. Your love runs deep. It heals, it uplifts, it transforms. You don't just want to be in love. You want a connection that mirrors purpose. And that kind of connection can't be rushed. It can't be built with people who are still addicted to the superficial. You weren't made for quick flings. You were made for divine partnership. And so here you are, waiting. Feeling like your heart is overflowing, but nowhere to pour it. Watching others fall in and out of love like it's a game, while you stay single, praying for someone who truly sees you. But here's what you must understand. Your singleness is not punishment. It's protection. Because the level of love you're about to receive requires you to be ready, spiritually, emotionally, energetically. The reason you've stayed single this long is because God knows how precious your heart is. He saw how many times you gave your love to the wrong people. How many times you settled, hoping they'd rise. How many times you ignored the red flags just to avoid being alone. But you're not in that space anymore. Now, you're awake. Now you want something that aligns with your growth, not your loneliness. And that kind of love is rare. That kind of person, scarce. So instead of letting you waste more years with the wrong ones, God hid you. He hid your beauty from the ones who only look with lust. He hid your soul from the ones who only seek convenience. He hid your vulnerability from those who only want access, but not commitment. You didn't get ghosted. You got guarded. He stepped in and blocked it because he knew they didn't deserve you. He heard the conversations behind your back. He saw the future pain that you were blind to. And so he shut the door, even while you cried for it to open. That's why you're still single. Not because you're not worthy, but because your love is too heavy for someone who's still playing with paper hearts. You've been craving love, but God has been craving alignment. He's been working behind the scenes, shaping the one who's being prepared to love you the way you've always deserved. And that takes time, because divine timing never moves at the pace of your emotions. It moves at the pace of your purpose. Most people around you are rushing into relationships out of fear. Fear of being alone. Fear of being left behind. But you're different. You've walked through fire. You've tasted betrayal, abandonment, manipulation. You don't just want love. You want peace. You want purpose. You want someone who doesn't just fit your life, but elevates it. So yes, it gets lonely. Yes, the nights feel long. Yes, you wonder if God forgot about you. But what you don't see is that He's writing a love story for you that's too sacred to be rushed. A story that begins not with fireworks, but with confirmation. Not with butterflies, but with balance. A story that begins when both souls are ready, not when emotions are desperate. So hold on. You are still single because what's coming is not normal. It's divine. And divine things are always delayed, so they can arrive perfectly. You're not late. You're not forgotten. You're being aligned. You see, the kind of love God has for you, it's not microwave love. It's slow-cooked, seasoned, spiritual. It's the kind of love that holds your hand when life breaks you. The kind that prays for you behind closed doors. The kind that protects your soul, not just your body. And that kind of person, they're not ready overnight. And neither are you. Because even though you crave love, God had to take you through the lonely road first. He had to teach you how to love yourself. Because if He had sent you someone while you were still desperate for validation, you would have settled again. You would have shrunk your light. You would have tolerated things your soul was screaming against, just to avoid feeling alone. And He loves you too much to let that happen again. So he put you in a season of sacred singleness, a time when you'd finally heal the wounds of your past, when you'd finally set boundaries without guilt, when you'd finally realize being single is not loneliness, it's preparation. He had to break every false belief you had about love. Because real love isn't just about connection, it's about reflection. And now you're ready to reflect something greater. You see, the love coming into your life will be different. It won't trigger your trauma. It'll hold it. It won't run from your vulnerability. It'll honor it. And it won't require you to chase it, because it's already being sent to you. The person meant for you. They're not lost. They're not hiding. They're being refined, just like you. They're going through their own tests, their own wilderness, their own moments of isolation. Because when two powerful souls are about to unite, there's always spiritual warfare before the connection. That's why the delays. That's why the attacks. That's why the loneliness feels extra heavy sometimes. Because you're not waiting for just any love. You're waiting for a love that will change generations. So yes, the wait is long. But what you're waiting for is worth it. It's worth every silent night. Every tear that fell with no one there to catch it. Every time you had to wipe your own face and remind yourself that you are enough, even without a partner. You're still single because your story is still being written. And the author is not done yet. You may feel like time is running out, like everyone else has found their person. But you weren't meant to follow their timeline. You were meant to follow God's timeline. Because when He sends someone, it's not just about love. It's about purpose. It's about impact. It's about building something that brings heaven to earth through your union. Most people rush into relationships that distract them from their calling. But you're being called into a relationship that activates your calling. And that kind of love can't be found through swipes, likes, or temporary vibes. It can only be sent by God. And you'll know it when it comes. You won't have to force it. You won't have to overthink. You won't feel anxious or unsure. You'll feel peace, not perfection, but peace, and your spirit will recognize theirs like a long-lost home. So if you're still single, still praying, still hoping, don't lower your standards. Don't shrink your soul just to feel chosen by someone who doesn't even know how to choose themselves. Don't trade your depth for someone who's only interested in your surface. Don't rush what heaven is preparing in private just because the world is noisy. Because when your person arrives, you'll realize why every door had to close, why every almost had to fall apart, why every night alone had to be endured. Because if those things didn't break, you wouldn't have been rebuilt. And this love will be built on truth, on healing, on timing. So while you're waiting, live. Love yourself harder. Speak to God louder. Build your dreams stronger. And become the partner you always prayed for. Because when the two of you finally meet, it won't feel like the beginning. It'll feel like the return. And you'll both whisper, "I knew it was you. I just had to become me first." That's why you're still single. Because your love is too sacred to be rushed. And your heart is being saved for someone who knows exactly how to treasure it.